There's a lot of things that hyperbaric chambers can do, but we found that by accident, somebody was using it to help with PTSD.
The governor has signed a bill into law allowing doctors to treat veterans with PTSD using hyperbaric therapy. Daryl Moody has more on our top story.
In Florida, we're proud to say that we are very friendly to our veterans, and we are the second largest populated state in numbers of veterans. We have 1.5 approximate million veterans that call Florida home.
State Senator Tom Wright says about 275,000 of those veterans suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder.
And that PTSD can be caused by many things. It could be caused by something that our veteran experienced, like somebody getting blown up, heaven forbid, or something tragic like that. It can also be for those that were in artillery or near where the artillery was being used, and those air concussions happening over and over and over and over again can cause you PTSD.
State Senator Wright explains how doctors are treating PTSD with hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
We take a SPECT scan, which is like taking a photograph of their brain from the top looking down, and we usually find an area that looks like the size of a chicken egg, and it's black in color. And I'm told by the doctors that is actually dormant brain matter, not dead brain matter. And using hyperbaric chambers, we will eventually, and we do, we bring that all the way back to fully gray and fully functional, and that gives our veterans, they're free.
Wright says state lawmakers in Louisiana and North Dakota are considering similar legislation. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, April 29th. A Bunnell man is sentenced for crimes against minors.
Alan Avalon Jr., just 2 months after additional charges were filed against him, pleaded guilty on multiple charges of sex crimes against children. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
The pervert who recorded girls in his home taking showers and then having them watch materials and him satisfying himself was sentenced to 3 years in prison. He also has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life.
Sheriff Staley explains why the sentence isn't longer.
Well, he deserved a much longer sentence. Accepting a plea deal satisfied the case so the girls and the victims in this case would not have to testify.
Sheriff Staley adds this outcome is all in thanks to the courageous juveniles who came forward explaining what happened to them and the dedicated detectives and prosecutors with the state attorney's office.
My warning to individuals in our community that want to exhibit this type of behavior is that we will arrest you, and these are serious felony charges and will change your life forever, just as your actions changed the lives of your victims.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. April is Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, and time to get educated about Flagler County resources and warning signs, especially for seniors.
Locally, Family Life Center provides compassionate support to victims of sexual assault and domestic violence through advocacy, crisis intervention, and community awareness. Trish Ciccone is the Chief Executive Officer of Family Life Center.
Older populations are doing online dating. They're meeting folks that, they wouldn't ordinarily meet. And sadly, what they're being asked to do and or what they're being forced to do is just, things that we would never think of.
Deanna Yule is a victim advocate at the Flagler County Sheriff's Office.
It's happening with our older population here, and there is something that we should probably touch on called the sweetheart scam, where people are getting messages and they think they're talking to someone who they are in a relationship with, and these people keep asking them for more and more money, and a lot of people have mortgaged their houses and things.
Unfortunately, Ciccone says the victimization doesn't fit a specific profile.
But the reality is that there's a wide range of victimization out there, both in age and socioeconomic status. It's not just poor people, it's not just rich people, it's everyone in between can be a victim of a sexual assault.
Ciccone says services at Family Life Center are free to the community. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
What do you do when you're knocked down?
Keep pushing.
Vern Shank, who's a musician, radio station owner, and heavily involved in the entertainment industry, said on a recent episode of Business Mind's Coffee Chat with host Jay Shear that he was treated that way as a high school kid, and that led him to the industry that he's been in for years.
If I could achieve something maybe in the music world, I didn't quite know exactly what yet. If I could get to or try to achieve something of that somewhat clarity, then when I went back to my high school reunions, I wouldn't be the guy that they'd be ignoring or pushing in the corner.
Shank said he's living his dream of working in the music industry, and not just because of classmates who picked on him. Business Mind's Coffee Chat with host Jay Shears on WNZF, Saturday mornings at 8:30 and on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, Then What Happened? From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
District tournaments begin this week on the Diamonds of Flagler County. FPC Baseball finished the year winning 9 of their last 10 and find themselves 3 wins away from making the playoffs for the second straight year. They host Jacksonville Sandalwood tonight at 6:30 in the first round of the district tournament. The Pirates kick off their postseason at home against Mainland at 6. In softball, the Matanzas Pirates try to win their first district championship in 2 years. They host the winner of today's game between Mainland and Pine Ridge at the Ship tomorrow. The Lady Bulldogs won 8 of their last 10 to finish 16-9 on the season. They host University at 4 tomorrow to open district play. Spring football practice kicks off today. The Matanzas Pirates look to reach the playoffs in consecutive years this fall for the first time since 2017. Their practice schedule will end with an intra-squad scrimmage May 17th. FPC begins year 2 of the Daniel Fish era tomorrow, looking to build with a nucleus centered around running back Marcus Mitchell and defensive end Colby Cronk. They host Pine Ridge in their spring game May 23rd. After a Game 1 loss for the Orlando Magic in Cleveland, Magic coach Jamal Mosley remained confident in his team.
Right now, we just have to make sure we stay the course, play the right way.
Cleveland took Game 2 before the series shifted to Orlando, and the Magic won Game 3. In Game 4 Saturday at Kia Center, through a half, the Cavs were in control, leading by 9. Then magic happened.
Isaac jams it in!
That Jonathan Isaac dunk capped off a 37-10 Magic third quarter. Coach Mosley on the difference after halftime.
Our guys made the right adjustments and realized it was about the body and ball movement, sharing it, moving it, trusting the pass, and then, their defensive effort, it was high level and special.
The Magic led by 17 entering the fourth and continued to pour it on.
Here's Franz with Mobley in front of him. He'll try a straightaway 3. Oh, it's all falling for Franz Wagner. He found the jumper.
That call from 96-9 the game. Wagner finished with 34 as the Magic evened the series at 2 after the 112-89 win. Game 5 will take place in Cleveland tomorrow night. This is your home for local sports with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the WNZF Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.